I need help with the Targa. Maybe I'll try and drive it here real quick and recreate what's going on, but at highway speeds, cruising 70 to 75 miles an hour in 5th gear, just steady RPM, after driving for a little while, it shuts off. The engine cuts off. It feels like a fuel cut. Sometimes it'll do it just a split second. Other times the engine will cut off completely until I take it out of gear. And then it'll come back once I go back into gear. So I was thinking maybe it's the fuel pump. It kind of makes sense to me. Also doesn't make sense. Someone else told me to just check the battery and the alternator possibly. So I have a new fuel pump. I've got my multimeter here to test the battery and the alternator. So we'll start there, and then I'll go out and try and recreate it if it seems like the alternator is doing fine. I don't expect the alternator to show any signs of going bad while it's just sitting and running, because it only happens at highway speeds in 5th gear so far. I haven't tried to cruise in 3rd or 4th gear, so I don't know if it would do it then, but I've experienced it quite a few times in 5th gear at this point, and it happens more often now. Where the first time I was probably cruising at the same speed for probably 30, 45 minutes at least after into 2 hours into a longer drive. But most recently it happened maybe after just a few minutes of being at that steady RPM. So I'm gonna check the battery now, check the alternator, see if I can see anything, and then we'll go from there. Okay, got my voltmeter, multimeter, whatever. I've got it set to DC 20. As long as I don't break it. Okay, so negative to negative, positive to positive. I don't know if you'll be able to read that. .3. That should be just fine. I haven't driven this car in, I don't know, a few weeks, 2 weeks maybe. So let me start it up, see where we can go from there. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear me over the sound of the engine right now, but someone also did say it could be, or they think it could be the air-fuel mixture, air-fuel ratio. I don't know if that's going to be it. They said possibly flooding the system, but I don't know if that's really going to be it. Willing to try anything. I really don't understand. I haven't seen this issue before. So with this going, this should read, I believe, anywhere from 14.2 to 14.7 with the alternator charging the battery. 13.7. So maybe my alternator is going. I think that's low. Yeah. So my alternator may be going out. That should be, from what I understand, what I've read, it should be between 14.2 and 14.7. So I may need a new alternator. Yeah. I'm still going to try and recreate it for you. There's a couple other things too. My tech doesn't work until the car gets warm, which that doesn't seem normal, but even then, I say work and I use that term loosely, it just kind of bounces around. It doesn't actually do anything that it's supposed to. But right now that's not, I just want to recreate the other issue. I'll try to. So, let's see if I can put on a highway real quick on the interstate. So yeah, it just stays there. No matter what I do, it just stays there at 1800. Out of gear, it drops to 0. So, you hear the engine ticking? I love that sound. Okay, well, I don't know. I was not able to recreate it on that short drive, so I don't know. Are you familiar with alternators? Anyone watching on these cars? I'm sure it's the same for every car, but is 13.7, is that too low? Do I need a new alternator? Would that be what's causing it to cut out at that steady RPM? I've never had it happen under acceleration or deceleration just after cruising at steady RPM. Yeah, I don't know. Does that make sense? If you're watching this and you know somebody who might know the answer, if they are good with alternators and electrical, mechanical things on cars, send this to them and see if they have any input, because I really want to get this figured out. I've got the fuel pump. I initially thought it was that because it feels like fuel cut when it happens, but I just need a little bit more time. So maybe this weekend I'll try and recreate it. But yeah, let me know. Do I need to order a new alternator and do that? Have a video on how to change an alternator on this car. I've never done it before, but I think it's probably fairly easy. I think I've seen it's in the fan. Yeah, I'm just trying to think through it all. So let me know. If you have any input, please let me know. If you have any friends that might have any input, please have them watch it so they can let me know. Just want to get this thing figured out, dialed in. I can drive it every day. I just want to be able to drive it further. I would love to be able to drive it to the mountains, or just, on a few hours here and there, especially with the cooler weather coming. It's Florida right now. We're about to be in November, so it's about to start dipping into the 70s, which would be nice to have this car for. All right. Thanks for watching. Help me out. Thanks.